Okay, we're excited to be back home for another home game, have homecoming. That's a big deal for our fans, a big deal for our players. In the health update, Jeff Whitaker will be officially out for this season. He will redshirt. Obviously, that's a blow for our defense, but at the same time, it will be good for the future. Justin Garrett will not play this week, but it'll be week to week after that. We're really looking forward to practicing. I've told our guys that we're focused on getting better each week each week, and this week will be no different.
Questions?
Guys, how did Jeff in particular take it, starting with him, and then Justin as well, because he obviously had such a big spring and to not be dealing with this long?
Well, first of all, Jeff, I mean, he's kind of been playing banged up the last year or so anyway, and I think it'll just be good for him, and to be healthy. And so that's our goal, to get him healthy for next year and have a chance to have his best season.
And for Justin, play week to week as opposed to the red shirt at this point?
Yeah, we're just going to see, how he reacts. I mean, he wants to play, and we'll just see how everything happens with that.
Because I had time to watch the film and go back over the Ole Miss game. What stuck out to you the most about that on both sides of the ball?
Well, first thing that stood out is we improved. We improved. Our players played extremely hard. That's kind of really what stood out to me. I mean, we still made some mistakes that we got to get corrected. Had a chance really to put the game away, on the offensive side, middle fourth quarter, and we had the turnover, and it made it a tough deal at the end. But there's areas that we can improve on. That's a good thing, and so our message is going to stay the same.
When you talk about the turnovers, obviously you had two right there. What can you do about those, and other than stress it, obviously?
You got to coach it better. The players got to be more accountable. You just got to be more disciplined. I mean, that's what it comes down to, and we got to do a better job.
The one on the exchange between Trey and Nate, what was it?
Well, that right there was a run through. I mean, they didn't have a chance on that. That was just a run through. We had a bust up front from a freshman, and we got to get better. And that's the things that we got to get better on, and we got to stop making mistakes. But the good thing is, I feel confident that mistake won't happen again. But that was more up front than it was in the backfield.
Is Trey a guy who, when he comes off, says, give me another chance? Is he one of those guys who wants to get back on the field to make up for that, or how?
Well, there's no doubt. Of course, that wasn't Trey's fault on that. Like I said up front, that was a bust up front, and the quarterback and the tailback didn't have a chance on that.
You talked about having aggressive attacking defense, way up there in tackles for loss. How pleased have you been with, I guess, the nature of the defense so far?
Well, I tell you what, they were playing fast. Played in their backfield a lot of the night, and I thought that was a big key to the game. We got our crowd involved, and our crowd was unbelievable. The crowd helped us win that game, and a lot of it had to do with our defense gave them something to cheer about.
Coach, Gabe Wright was telling me that it takes a lot of confidence to do well in the fourth quarter, and he was saying that this team has improved a lot over the past 6 weeks. What have you seen from this team from the start of the season and from now as far as mental capacity goes?
Well, the biggest thing, I think our team has bought into what our coaches have tried to tell them. They're playing for the guy beside them. They're practicing hard. They're trying to improve, and so I think that's the biggest thing that stands out to me.
Gus, Nick got banged up a little bit in the end game. How's he doing?
Yeah, we expect him to be ready to go. I don't think it's anything that's too big a deal.
You planning to have them practice this week?
Yes. Yeah.
Because what do you look to get out of a week like this? Because not to put down an opponent, but they've certainly had a tough go this season, tough go the past couple of years against FBS teams. So what are you looking to accomplish?
Well, like I said, I know I keep sounding like a broken record, but I'm looking for us to improve. It doesn't make if we're playing Ole Miss or Western Carolina. We're going to go about the same way. We're going to have the same approach to practice with the same intensity. We're going to worry about us, and that's what we need to be. I mean, we hadn't arrived yet. We got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of areas we can improve on, and that's going to be our message. So I expect our guys to come out today and practice just like they have, or even better, intensity-wise and focus to detail-wise.
We talked about the success of the fourth quarter defense and how, they helped teams, and obviously the pressure was impressive Saturday, but how much do you worry about a big yardage again, another 450-yard plus game, give up big plays across the board?
Well, I think the bottom line is find a way to win. And the guys have done that. And the plays you're talking about, we need to get better in those areas, and that's what we're focused on. As coaches, you focus on the things that you need to improve on. But a lot of times this season, when the game's been on the line, our guys have found a way to make plays, on both sides of football, and I think that says a lot about our guys. But as coaches, we'll definitely focus on those things, that can help stay away from those situations.
You guys, can you talk about passing game? Is this a week where you'd like to go ahead and get that in sync and rhythm?
Well, obviously you'd like to be balanced. That's the best offenses, are usually balanced, especially in our league, and we got to be more balanced. But at the same time, each game unfolds differently. And the other night, we were having success running the football, and our quarterback was executing the read zone extremely well. So each game is different, but ideally you'd like to be balanced.
You talked about that zone read with Nick. Was that, obviously that was part of the game plan to get him more involved, but is he making better decisions on when to keep it?
He's getting more where he's more reactive and he doesn't have to think so much. And when you get to that point, that's good. Like I said, last week was really good for him, having the week off before that, and to get better at that. And he really did a very good job in the read game.
And all the years that Auburn's played, and for all the great running backs, this is the first time that we've had 4 different 100-yard rushers in the season in a game. What does that speak to? Is that the talent you have? Is that the play calling, or what?
Well, I think that first of all, we have 3 running backs. We've been saying that we feel good about all 3 of those guys, and they're all 3 different. And then our quarterback, we knew when he got here that he could really create things on the ground. The other night he showed a lot of toughness too. That's kind of what stood out to me. But we can run the football, and in this league, you need to be able to run the football. Like we were saying earlier, we just need to get where we're balanced and be able to throw the football effectively to get some more first downs. If we do that, we got a chance to be a pretty solid offense before it's all said and done this year.
Yes, could you talk about Carl Lawson and what makes him different?
Well, when we recruited him, we felt like his motor is really something else. He plays extremely hard. College football is a different game than high school, and it took him a couple of weeks to get everything down. And the last few weeks he's been improving. Coach Garner's had a good plan for him, and he just turned it loose and he played his best game. It was a very complete game, not just rushing the passer, but against the run. And if he keeps improving, he's got a chance to be a really good player.
What about a guy like Ricardo Lewis, who obviously had a good preseason, hasn't necessarily had that breakout game, so to speak? What do you see for him in practice? What do you expect the rest of the year?
Yeah, Ricardo's a very good athlete. He didn't play receiver in high school, and I think it's just he'll get more and more comfortable as he goes. And he'll have one of those games that, people call it a breakout game, and then he'll figure it out and probably not look back.